because user experience is not only it's not only the design, it's not only colors and shapes. It's the feel. You as a user, when you come and use my product, what do you feel about
Consultancy firms just replicate models from the West into a market that's totally different.
it? Like you pointed to something very important because different market, different, countries, they need the consultancy in different way, right?
Now, with social media again, the idea of building your own business, being your own boss, has been glamorized a lot.
Yeah.
And they don't talk about all the struggle that comes with it.
And I think these tools are available online. Like you go and ask yourself a few questions, and then there will be a result that will tell you that, okay, you can be entrepreneur or not.
So, do you think that it's pure luck, or is it upskilling, learning, and also building on your experience?
I mean, you have to you have to convey, the message of who you are in an easy way. So people they recognize you, they recognize your experience.
Welcome to Melting Spices, the podcast where global careers, entrepreneurship, and cultural journeys blend together. Today we're joined by Eyad Baghdadi, a telecom executive and digital entrepreneur who has lived in Syria, Kuwait, and now Canada. He's launched ventures from automotive e-commerce platform to now leading Syria Experts, a global network of Syrian professionals contributing to the country's reconstruction from across the globe. In this episode, we explore career transitions, how to plan for a change, first steps in entrepreneurship, as well as e-commerce and digital trends. If you enjoy this conversation, don't forget to follow, rate, review, and share Melting Spices. It helps us keep the stories cooking. Let's dive in.
Iyad, you had a senior, stable role in Kuwait in the telco sector, and you choose to leave during the uncertainty of COVID and move to Canada. This is a pretty big, bold move. What
Yeah.
gave you the courage, and how did you deal with this big transition?
Well, thanks for the questions, Zainab. I mean, this is really important phase of my life. And it was not an easy decision that I made. Moving to another continent, moving to another world. I mean, leaving all the experience and the people around you and the country that you lived in for a long time. Well, my
How many
reasons, I mean,
years were you in Kuwait?
I stayed in Kuwait and lived and worked in Kuwait approximately for 13 years.
Wow, okay.
So that was a long time. People emigrate for different reasons, like financial, some situations in their countries. And for me, as a Syrian, I was looking for a place to settle in because I frankly I didn't have any hope to return to Syria. I mean, in the previous years, so I wanted to go to a place where I establish my life again. You know, um, I can call it home, and all the situation that we have as a Syrian nationality. I mean, the difficulties in travel and etc. So I had to make this decision, which was not easy. And by coincidence, it was during COVID. I mean, I didn't plan it. I didn't plan it to be during COVID, but I mean, this is what happened. Moving to another country again, it's not an easy decision, and it has a lot of consequences, whether it's financially in the profession, even emotionally, and socially, all the sides. So that was not easy move for me.
So how did you manage to handle all these aspects, knowing that it's not the first time you were like an expat in another country? Usually, I feel the first time we're excited, we're happy, but the second time is a little bit harder because you know that, oh, I'm gonna go through the whole hustle again.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it depends on the person, on the personality of, different people. They deal with it differently. Like, although it was a difficult decision for me, but I was kind of excited, frankly. I
Right?
mean, when I arrived to Canada the first time, I was, wow, I'm so happy. Although I know in the back of my mind that I have a lot of challenges, coming. Um, but I was excited to move to another place. In nature, I love discovering new places, new cultures, and I think the well planning is really crucial in this. I mean, especially financially. I mean, when you want to make this big jump or change and whatever it is, like change in the career or moving to another country, you have to be financially well planned. You have to have some, for example, some savings that can cover you for certain time amount of certain time that you can manage until you're settled in and you can find a job or do a different business or etc. So yeah, I mean that helped me a lot because I planned well ahead. So when I reached, I didn't have to be in a bad situation for a long time. Yeah.
What about professionally? Did you have to like start over, or did you have a transition time where you had to manage with different jobs that your area of expertise, or did you find a job before leaving? How did you manage this professional side?
Yeah. I think many people when they travel to or immigrate to the West, they face this challenge and they not necessarily they will work in their profession for a long time at the beginning. Maybe for for their qualifications to be certified or other reasons, maybe language barrier or something else. And well, I didn't expect to find something in my profession immediately. So I was okay. I took the first few months. I kind of maybe relax a little bit. I mean, just to have some time for me to adapt with the new situation, etc. And I spent my time actually discovering, not the whole country. It's a huge, but I mean the community, the way, I mean, people they work here. I mean, the work environment, the companies, the market, etc. And I also started learning a new language, which is French in my case, which was really nice as well. And I was trying to find jobs at the same time. So luckily, I found a job, not immediately, but I had to wait around maybe 4 or 5 months until I found a job, which is very close to what I used to do in Kuwait. And I was so lucky, alhamdulillah, that I found that job. And at the same time, I was thinking about different things like building my own business, online business. I was doing some freelance work, etc. So it was a bit from here and there.
Yeah, so it's very interesting that you mentioned this. So you took time to, I would say, study and understand the culture, the country, the job market, etc., which is very crucial also to like adapt. You also adapted, you took freelance jobs, etc.
Yeah.
I think this is also important when somebody moves to another country or even another company. You need to take time to understand how does it work, and adapt, find your way into it. Do you think that the fact that you've lived in three different countries like influenced the way you work, the way you think, the way, I mean, your leadership, etc.? And if so, in which way?
Well, definitely yes. Definitely yes. I think this is one of the best things that someone can experience in life. I mean, living in different countries, different cultures, to experience different lives. I mean, um, the world is too big. I mean, and we need to, to open our mind and see that okay, there are other people there and around the world that they are not like us. They think in different way. They like different things. They don't like the same thing that we like, and they work in different way. They look at the world and things in different ways. So this is really, I mean, it was a really I'm really happy to have this in my life because it has like it opened my mind. Like I now I look at the world in a different way. It helped me to respect other cultures as well. Like if I see some other people like they think differently, okay, I understand, I can accept. It helped me to adapt to new environment as well. I mean, whenever I mean I have different experience in different companies, different countries with different people, it helped me to adapt in my next step. I mean, wherever I go, I can manage. I mean, I have no issue. Like so, it's really helpful. Really helpful.
Yeah, I can imagine. So Iyad, you mentioned that you were lucky to find a job that's quite similar to your background and your previous experience.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's luck, or is it because you already come from a very strong background? You have, mashallah, a very strong degree, very strong experience, and you mentioned that you also took the time to learn new skills, find freelance jobs where obviously it will help you to learn how are the market dynamics, how to deal with clients, etc. So do you think that it's pure luck, or is it upskilling, learning, and also building on your experience?
Well, that's a good point. That's a very good point. It's definitely not only luck. I mean, it's a mix of both, right? Luck alone, I don't believe it. I mean, it's there,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's not the only thing that we need to depend on. Experience, first of all, research. I would say because I mean, I see some other people. I mean, from my same nationality. I mean, with from similar backgrounds as well. I mean, probably in the same domain. They come here and struggle. So you need to open your mind. You need to read a lot. You need to do a research. You need to and I think language is really important. I mean, people they need to improve their language. They need to read more. See, I mean, what's around us. See how the job market is working in this country. And this is the second thing. The third thing, which I think is really important. I mean, whatever experience you have, you need to know how to market yourself. Like this is really important. I mean, when I came here and I see, okay, I have my experience, I have a very good, solid profile, uh, but it might not be good for this market. So I had to do some customizations on my profile, on my CV, and see what the people read here, what the people search for, what are the keywords. Because I'll give you one example. I work in telecom, right? So telecom companies in our region, it's called mobile operators. This term is not used in North America. They call it cellular networks. So I had to change the word in my
Yeah.
profile to match with this market. So these are some of the examples. So experience, hard work, you need to do research, you need to, you know, and of course luck on top of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting that even a small thing as changing the wording can shift the
Definitely.
chances that, yeah.
definitely.
Yet I will take you back a little bit to talk about your entrepreneurial experiences. So you have always had a corporate career. You have climbed the ladder in the corporate world, I would say. But in the meantime, you had entrepreneurial experiences. One of your early ventures was in the digital automotive listing platforms that you created in Kuwait. I would say well ahead of its time.
Yeah.
What challenges did you face at that time launching it in the Gulf market, if any?
Yeah. Well, yeah, thanks for reminding me about that experience. I mean, in the past. Well, first of all, it was like, okay, it was not ahead of time, but it was like, it was something to improve what is there in the markets. I mean, it was in my experience there, I mean, and the challenges that I faced. They are not only because I would say it was in the in the GCC area, but because it was my first experience as well. That's I had all the common challenges that everyone in the world try to do a new startup or try to to enter in the entrepreneurship world. Like there are tons of challenges and new experiences um, that you surprise. You're surprised when you go inside. You thought, okay, I don't want to do like 9 to 5 job anymore. Like I want to be free. I want to be my own boss. All these big shiny terms that and when you go there, I mean, wow, that requires a lot of work. You don't know. I mean, there are a lot of challenges technically, strategically. You need to learn a lot about many new things. And that was a challenge for me, but it was also a benefit for me because I mean, if you don't start, you will not learn. I mean, you have to start at some point to learn all these things. And although the project as a business was not as successful as I hoped for, but I'm really grateful. I mean, for the experience. I mean, I learned a lot about how to start business, all the areas of the entrepreneurship world. I had many new connections with many new amazing people around the world. So it opened the door for me. So yeah, I mean, there were a lot of challenges, but I'm kind of happy that I had them. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. I remember once I had this idea and I reached out to you because I knew of your previous experience, and then you started listing all the things I need to pay attention to and the budget that it requires. And I was like,
Oh
oh
yeah.
my God, maybe I should give it a second thought. But as you said, it's once you start that you learn. And even if it doesn't work out the way you want it to,
Yeah.
it's a learning process
Yes.
anyways. And second experience will be easier because you had your experience from the first one.
Yes. Definitely.
Do you think that because there is, I think in the e-commerce, there is a pre-COVID and post-COVID era.
Hmm.
Post-COVID, like e-commerce has exploded.
Yes.
If you were to launch that product today, um, knowing that the market has grown bigger,
Hmm.
what would you do differently from a tech and strategy perspective?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good question. I mean, there were many like lessons learned for me in that experience, plus all the advances in the technology that you mentioned after COVID. I mean, we're talking about something that I started probably 7, 8 years ago, and this time in technology means a lot. I mean, there are tons of new platforms, new technologies out there. So of course, I mean, I would, for example, I would use some of the new tools, the new built platforms that is there in the market. I mean, I don't have to build something from scratch. And this is something really amazing. I mean, today, whatever idea you have, you need like a base for it. I mean, I'm talking from technical point of view. You have
Mm.
you need a digital platform to build your idea on top of it. It's there. I mean, there are many platforms out there that you can have it as software as a service with some monthly fees, and that you can build whatever you want on top of that, and you can customize it as you wish. And that has many advantages rather than starting from scratch. Um, Recruiting software developers and programmers to do this, and it's very costly and time consuming. And by the time you finish, you realize that you are late. So you don't
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
Don't, and I went through this, I mean, in the past, I mean, from my experience, and I started actually using this, I mean, in my like new experiences. I don't have to build, I'm not building anything from scratch anymore. I mean, I'm just, having some already built platforms that to use. Um, like there's also another thing that I learned that I would do. I mean, in my current, new starters or existing ones, you don't have to be complete. I mean, you don't have to be perfect. That this is.
Yeah.
And I learned this the hard way. Zainab. I I like things to be a kind of. I don't want to say that I'm perfectionist, but I mean, sometimes I am, but in the world of business, this is really this is really dangerous because I mean when you have an idea and you want to launch, there's something in this world of technology and digital platform. It's called MVP. It's called minimal viable project. Sorry, product. So
Mm.
so you have to launch as quick as possible with the minimum features, so you can go to the market early and not to see your competitors out there before you. So yeah, there are many things I would do differently.
Strange enough, I mean, these things we have studied. I'm sure you also did, being a network engineer, right? So
Yeah,
we studied this, that reusing instead of doing from scratch. Yeah, launching minimum features, then building up on them, etc. But as you said, once you put your hands in the business, then you understand the why behind these,
yeah,
best
yeah,
practices, and then you learn to apply them
yeah,
the best way.
absolutely.
Absolutely, I agree with you. And when it's your own product, when you want to offer something to your clients, to the public, it's like your own image. You want it to be ideal, perfect. But
Definitely,
yeah,
definitely. You feel like,
yeah,
okay, this is my child. I don't want it to be ugly. No, no, I mean, it's not ugly. You have to go. You have to put it in the market and then see how the people will react to it and then improve it.
yeah,
So yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Okay, we also talked about the new features and that
Hmm.
technology is improving and evolving very quickly. So trends like mobile first commerce or conversational commerce, like for example, in the travel world now, you can book your ticket through WhatsApp, and you don't even have to go to see an agent. You don't have to go do it through a website and like be blind, not know what will happen. You do it through WhatsApp. There is a chat bot, but that there is someone behind it. You have the
Yeah,
conversation. It makes things easy. Commerce, like your old venture, now they do these pop-up retail fairs or whatever, like for car sales. Okay, there are ads on the website, but from time to time they will organize a real like shop, uh, some kind of a fair or something, and then display all the cars that are on sale on the website, etc. So, do you think that uh, I don't know, Middle East region or maybe Canada is is also famous for following the trends?
yeah.
But do you think that uh, the trends are being followed in the right, or are they behind? Are they? Are they maybe creating the trends? What do you think about this?
Well, I think, yeah, I mean, as you said, I mean, these markets are following the trends, but I think there are some differences between them. And sometimes, if you are talking about a new startup that you're doing, I mean, you're an entrepreneur and you're starting something new, you don't have to follow the trends all the time. I mean, you need to look at what what are the, you know, the tools, the features that will help you to succeed, right? I mean, I'm not talking about you personally as well. I'm talking about your product, your business, you know. Yes, there are many trends out there. There are many, you know, hundreds of new tools that coming every now and then, but I don't have to use them all, right? Sometimes, you know, I get some advices from friends like, okay, look at this tool. It's really helpful. But it's too much for me. Like I don't, when I look at it, it's too much. I don't need all these features in my product. So you have to be selective on what you use as a technology, as a tool, even as you know, concepts in you starting your business, etc. So yeah. But I would say, I mean, you have I mean, number one, if you, and we are always talking about around, you know, digital, you
Yes.
know, product,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So user experience is number one. You know, user experience is number one. I know that sometimes this is a hype, you know, it's a word UX, UI, etc. But it's really important. It's really important because user experience is not only it's not only the design, you know, it's not only colors and shapes. It's the you know, the feel. You as a user, when you come and use my product, what do you feel about it? I mean, are you happy? I mean, are you, you know, using it smoothly? Are you struggling? Are you waiting for a long time? Or, you know, uh, are you confused about why should I press here or there, you know? And there are many, you know, people who are experts in this and they can help as well. Yeah.
Okay, so for you, the must-have is a good user experience.
Yes, and under that comes everything, like whether it's how you communicate with the users, how the users use your product, how they provide their feedback, etc. It covers everything.
Amazing. Um, I just, before going to your second venture, I want to talk about a point that you mentioned before, and that you said that you need to market
Yeah,
yourself for the corporate career.
yeah,
And obviously, when you have a product to sell, you also need to market it.
definitely.
Uh, we will not talk about how important it is, but do you have some like best practices, something that is a must to do to, I would say, market yourself or work on your brand, your personal brand, or your product brand as a
Yeah,
brand? Yeah.
yeah. Uh, well, marketing concepts are the same, right? I mean, but it's a bit different when you brand yourself or you brand your product. Um, if you want, do you want me like to focus on one of them, like first, like
Okay, yeah, yeah, whichever. Just what you think is required that we cannot do without for people who listen to us and want to
yeah, yeah,
focus on one particular thing that for you is the most important.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, we are living in an online world these days, right? So online, you have to be online. I mean, you can't. I mean, we reach to a level you can't just be not there, you know? So make sure, I mean, for example, if you want to brand yourself or market yourself, you have to be present yourself very well in online profiles, whether it's LinkedIn, whatever platform you use it. I mean, Instagram, whatever. I mean, you have to you have to convey, you know, the message of who you are in an easy way. So people they recognize you, they They recognize your experience, your personality, etc. So make sure you are there. It's the same applicable for products. I mean, whatever business you are creating, if you are creating a new website, nobody will learn about you if you don't invest in marketing it, right? And this is a whole story. It's and you have to set, you know, I think the range that I recently came through, it should be like 30-40% of your investment in your business should be in marketing. And that's not like, I don't think it's too much. I mean, you need a lot of things, starting from, making the people aware that you are there, and then, promoting your platform, making sure the people are clicking on your website, visiting you, using it, etc. Regardless of what industry you are in or what the service you are providing. So you have to make sure that you are making investment in the marketing area, especially in the digital marketing, I would say. Yeah.
You need to be seen and reachable.
Exactly.
Yeah, in an easy way.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Yeah, as you said, we're in an online world, so we need to be present online.
Sure.
Let's talk about your second venture. So it's about creating a platform of vetted experts. It's like an Uber for expertise, only for Syrians, if I understand well.
Yeah.
So what inspired the idea?
Well, that's my new baby that I'm really proud of.
Congratulations on your new
Oh,
baby.
thank you so much. Well, the idea is clear. I mean, after Syria got its liberation last December, I was, I live very far from there. I mean, I was thinking, okay, how can I help? I mean, we all know we were so excited. All Syrians around the world were so excited, and they wanted to contribute in any way, like to rebuild Syria, to develop Syria, because Syria was and still, I mean, almost on the ground. It has to be rebuilt from scratch. Um, and I was thinking, I mean, it was like 1 week, 10 days after that date, and I was thinking, okay, I need to do something. I mean, I can't just stand still. And what can I do? Why shouldn't I do something related to my experience? And then I thought, okay, I have experience in creating digital platforms, websites, marketing. Why shouldn't I start something? And I was discussing with just a couple of friends here and there about the idea. And the idea is that, thousands of professional Syrians, if it's not millions, right? It's hundreds of thousands of people. And among these, there are many professional people, experts in their domains, who gained extensive experience outside in different countries around the world. I mean, they are in Europe, America, Asia, everywhere. And we were talking about this, right? We were talking about how I experienced different working in different cultures, different countries, and that helped making my experience better and better. And this is what happened to Syrians around the world. Why don't we gather all these people who have different experience in all, domains in the world and across different continents, and if they would like to contribute in something, and then make them in one platform, and then whoever inside Syria, whether it's government, private sector, even volunteering entities, they need someone in a specific experience, they will find what they need in this platform online. So I was discussing with friends. I said, yeah, amazing idea, let's start. And then I started it, and I think it took me like 12 days to launch the website. It was ready, and I was working day and night. And so this was the idea behind it. And yeah, we're trying to maintain it and grow it better.
very interesting, very
Yeah,
patriotic also. How do
yeah.
you see this model evolving from a business aspect now? And also, do you think that it can help democratize access to quality service, quality knowledge, even across borders? As you said, there are Syrians all over the globe. And do you plan on keeping it only for Syrian institutions, or to broader it a little bit to at least the Middle East region, North Africa?
Yeah. Well, that's a good question. I think yes. I think such platforms can, help, you know, getting access to those experts everywhere, and changing the way the probably the consultancy work is done these days. So maybe yes, these platforms can evolve and help in that direction. Um, well, right now, since the purpose of this platform, the core purpose is to rebuild Syria. So we created it for Syria, but as a concept, and we have a lot of ideas in our, even the products roadmap. We have brilliant ideas how to improve it in the future, and introducing AI and other interesting features. It might be a core to be replicated in different markets as well, different needs. So yeah, we don't know. Maybe we will use it in other markets as well in the future if it
Okay.
was like, yeah.
Yeah, this would be actually great. And you mentioned consulting. For example, in the Middle East region, if you just open LinkedIn, you will see many posts about how consultancy firms just replicate models from the West into a market that's totally different.
Yeah,
So the educational system as well. Again, if it's like a foreign university based in the Middle East region, it's also the same models, the same curriculums, etc. That's not adapted at all to the local
yeah.
culture or need. So, is it in your plans, or do you think that such platforms as yours will help given an agile and more adaptable um, service or knowledge to the local markets in Syria and in the Middle East?
Yes, definitely, Zainab, definitely. I mean, you pointed to something very important, because different market, different countries, they need the consultancy in different way, right? Uh, Science and concepts are applicable everywhere, but it has to be adapted to different countries and different areas. And I'm talking about this from my experience with my country in Syria. Yes, it needs to be rebuilt. It needs development, but you can't just bring whatever in the West or different countries and apply it immediately there. You have to, and that's why I was focusing on Syrians, because Syrians, they know about their country, probably better than someone else, so they can adapt their knowledge and experience to help the people and the culture of their country. But yes, I totally agree with you.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. And I really wish you all the best of luck. And I would really want to see it not being just restricted to Syria, but in the future,
Yeah,
once Syria is back to being a very shiny country that it used to be, inshallah, you
thank you.
replicate
Yeah,
the model to other
yeah,
countries.
thank you so much.
Uh, I want to talk about how did you manage to successfully navigate your corporate positions. So you do bids and pre-sale in the IT networks, telecom, etc.
Yeah,
And so it has a little bit of things in common, but it's completely different from what you do. as entrepreneurial experiences, and your startups have nothing to do with what you do in the corporate world. So how do you manage to navigate both and make sure to give, as you said, you're a perfectionist, so I'm sure you do your best at your work, you do your best building your startup. So how do you navigate this?
Well, it's not easy, and believe me. I mean, it's first of all, I mean, it depends how you're saying that there's a big difference, and I agree with you at the beginning. I mean, when I graduated as a telecom engineer, I was pure telecom. I was not too aware about how the business world works. I mean, which is the real world. Let's be honest. I mean, at the end, everything is related at the end to business, and so when I started my career as an engineer, and then slowly when I was in Kuwait, I just realized that okay, there's something else in the world other than technical systems and solutions that I need to look at. And this was my first shift when I started working with a company at a kind of pre-sales position where I was, I was exposed to, the business level and the sales level. And I was, oh, okay, wow, this is how things work. There's lead, there's opportunity, there's sales, there's a contract, there's money, there's this and that, there's negotiation. Okay, this is how business works. And then I was, okay, well, it's very good. So the position that I work in my corporate currently, I mean, for the last probably now almost 10 years or so, it's a pre-sales position, and this is what I like about it. It's a link between technical and sales, like technical and business. So I have to be aware about both the worlds. And I'm living here in between. And this helped me actually to push my entrepreneurship projects because now I have idea about marketing, about sales, about revenue, about how to generate money, etc. So this helps me a little bit. But now coming to like managing the time and the efforts and energy, that's another story. It's
Okay.
big
Do you
thing, yeah,
believe in work-life balance, or do you believe in working in in a domain that you're passionate about and then making it your life?
Well, I don't think there is one size that fits all. I mean, everyone in this world is different, right? So there are some people who are very happy with where they are. They are in the corporate world for 20, 30 years, and they are so happy. They go to the work every day for the last 30 days, sitting in the same chair, and they are happy about it. We complain about it. I complain about it, but that guy or that girl might be happy about their life, so it's okay. I mean, um, to balance between them is not an easy job. I mean, if you started thinking about moving to that world, I mean, you have to be ready that you have to spend a lot of your time and energy on both things, and to balance is not an easy job. And work-life balance is, well, it might be applicable in the corporate world where and I'm a little bit with this. I mean, if you are not on a higher position like executive position, CEO or someone else, if you are just working a normal job, you have to balance. You have to give your time, give yourself time to do other things. It's not necessarily has to be like business. It might be a hobby that you like. It might be walking. It might be swimming. It might be something else. So, because life, I believe in this, life is not only job. Life doesn't equal job. I mean, whether you are happy about your job or not, life is not only job. There are many things in life.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to professionals who are happy or not happy, but dreaming of starting something
Mm.
on their own? Um, what would, again, one thing you would advise people to
Yeah.
do?
Well, I think first of all, starting a business and growing a business, the world of entrepreneurship is not for everyone. So if you like feel that you need to do something, make sure that you can do that. Like there are a few things, probably a small checklist that you go through it, and I think these tools are available online. Like you go and ask yourself a few questions, and then there will be a result that will tell you that okay, you can be entrepreneur or not, because it requires some. I wouldn't say like knowledge, but it's kind of personality thing. Like about your personality. How are you open to like new ideas? How can you do this? Can you do that? So a few things in your personality. This is number one. Number two, if you are in the corporate world, and let me talk about financials, because this is really something that all the people they think about. And there are many people that they will say, no, leave your job, start your own business. You will be and that people will take, like decisions that are not like studied well. They will take a risk that I'm with taking risks, but it should be a little bit like, studied, right? You have to study this risk and manage it. So you need to make sure that you can have some finance. I mean, you need to live, right? You need some income somewhere, and this happened to me personally, in the past. So I always struggle between, okay, I want to leave my job, but I need money as well. So from where I should get money to start to live and start my business. So unless you are 100% sure that your business will give you money very soon, don't quit your job. I mean, unless you have like millions of dollars in your bank account, you can leave your job anytime if you have enough money for the next 1 year to live. So these are the two important advices that I advise people. Um, Study the risk before taking it, and if you can manage your time and energy, you can start before quitting your job. In your free time, start your, projects or idea or, entrepreneurship, and then see how it goes. And don't leave your job until you reach to a point that you see the growth is coming for sure. So
Yeah,
this is my advice.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I totally agree with you. And I think this is applicable to every one of us, because now with social media again, the idea of building your own business, being your own boss, it has been glamorized a lot.
Yeah.
And they don't talk about all the struggle that comes with it.
True.
And that it may bring more stress than
Yeah.
your corporate position. And many people are happy about where they are, especially in, as I say, mid management or even senior management. But
Yeah.
maybe I would say for ladies, they want to manage family time versus
Hmm.
work time. Some of
Yeah.
them, maybe
Might be.
they don't want to be stressed about work anymore. At least they say, if I'm going to be stressed, it's going to be for my own thing. But it comes with a lot more stress, a lot more responsibility, I would say.
For sure.
And unless you have clients already set and money is going to come, it's a bit difficult. You need to be
Yeah.
sure, you need to have a strong financial base, I would say.
I totally agree.
Uh,
Yes.
yeah. Um, so, what values have remained your compass regardless of corporate entrepreneurship, regardless of which country or career phase you're in or you're at?
That's yeah, that's a difficult question. I think I haven't changed a lot. I mean, whatever values I kept in my previous countries, I kept it with me. I think one of the the values that I keep all the time is like I'm very honest about my work. Like I appreciate quality. Like whatever is my job, I make sure that the quality of my work is good. Again, it doesn't have to affect the time and cost because there's in project management there's this triangle between quality, cost, and time. So you have to balance, and I learned that this. I mean, during my user experience, yes, quality is important, but you have to balance. So I still provide a very good quality work, whether it's in my job, in my projects, my personal life, and I think people appreciate that. I mean, when you like provide something that okay, you're putting your efforts full capacity on it, and you make sure that it comes with a best quality, then people will appreciate your work, and you will get all the benefits either now, whether it's now or in the future, right? So yeah, this is one of the values that I kept in my previous
Which is
experiences.
a very strong value. If you could redesign the career path of young Arab professionals today, what would you change
Mm.
structurally or culturally?
Uh, but there is a problem with this question because when you say Arabs, I mean, Arab countries are different, I mean, it's different. I
Absolutely
mean,
agree.
regions are different. The educational system is different from one country to another. But
Let's
I
talk
would
about
say,
Syria/Kuwait because
okay,
you had
okay.
experiences in these two countries.
Well, in Syria, we have this problem. I mean, Syria's, educational system and the whole system is now needs to be rebuilt. Um, in my during my college time, I mean when I was in the university, the system is not really good because I mean, and I think this is something related to the culture as well. You mentioned this at the beginning that in Eastern countries and Arab Middle East they look at certain professions as this is the top. I mean, you have to be a doctor, engineer, or otherwise you're not good. Um, this has to be changed. I mean, I'm not saying that all people should be YouTubers or something, or get money. I mean, which is okay, fine. I mean, but I
But
mean,
they do make a
I
lot of money these days.
yes, yes. So, but I think, I mean, look at other countries like in the West or Canada, for example. They teach people or young kids that, okay, you can choose whatever profession you like, that, it doesn't have to be an engineer or doctor or something else. Everyone is contributing to the community, to the country in a good, decent job, with a profession that you like. So I think this is something really important to be changed. I mean, looking at and there should be a balance. I'm not saying that, okay, if I like something as a kid, I'm saying if I'm a kid and going to the college, I need to choose which brand, for example, to go to. And I like something that doesn't have any market in my country or in the region. There should be someone who advised me not to pursue that direction. I can still do whatever I like, but I mean choose something similar that will get me the financial and growth. And I think this is something that needs to be changed in the system, educational and professionals system of our countries. Yes.
Right, I agree with you. In our cultures, it's more about the status, the prestige of a name, rather
Yeah.
than on what you like or pursuing something that you're passionate about. Um,
Yeah.
what is a question you wish more people asked about success, especially in the context of entrepreneurship or career transitions?
Uh, I wish people to ask, I mean, what it gets to be there. I mean, what what efforts and what are behind the scenes? Like, don't look at the, successful people. And I'm also, talking to myself. Like sometimes I look at someone, wow, I mean, he's great. I mean, he's successful. I need to be like him or like her. But I mean, you need to look behind the scenes. I mean, what efforts they made to reach to that level. I mean, what 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 sacrifices they made in their life. I mean, are they happy with their personal life or not? Is this success is everything in life or not? Maybe you have something better than this. Maybe you are successful in another way. So yeah, ask these questions whenever you want to talk about success. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Define what's your version of success and try to aspire to it more than just running after what people are saying or what's the common um, agreements, I would say, in any society. Totally agree with you, Iyad. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for sharing your journey with such
Thank you.
honesty and depth. Your story actually is a powerful reminder that resilience, vision, and curiosity and adaptability, I would say, can truly transcend borders. From bold career leaps to reimagining how people access expertise in your country. Your path is extremely inspiring. Thank you very much for joining
Thank you
me
so much.
today.
Thank you, Zainab. Thank you so
Thank
much. I really
you.
enjoyed speaking with you today. Thank you.
Thank you. Until next time, keep exploring and evolving. Thank you.
Okay.